Every civilization faces hard tests. Some societies pass these tests, others fail. Throughout history, great empires have risen to incredible heights, built massive cities, created beautiful art, developed complex laws. Yet, in the end, many of these great societies have fallen. The ways they fall are not always exactly the same, but when we look closely at the past, we can see common signs of decay. These signs are like warnings. Today, we will look at 5 distinct signs of collapse. Understanding these signs is not just an exercise in history. It is a critical lesson for our own time. We will see why these signs matter now more than ever, and we will learn what they might mean for us. The pattern is often hidden in plain sight. It is a slow process, not a sudden event. A society does not simply vanish overnight. Instead, it weakens from within over many years, or even decades. The foundations begin to crack long before the walls come tumbling down. The 5 signs we will explore are like these cracks, indicators of deep stress within a civilization's structure. They are indicators of deep stress within a civilization's structure. Resource strain, environmental change, social inequality, poor leadership, loss of social trust. By examining each one, we can better understand the forces that lead to decline. This knowledge gives us a unique advantage. We can see the warnings that past societies might have missed. Why does this matter today? We live in a global civilization. Our world is more connected than any that has come before. Our technology is powerful. Our economies are intertwined. This interconnectedness means that our successes can be shared widely, but our problems can spread quickly and affect everyone. The same pressures that brought down ancient empires are present in our world today. Our resources, our environment, our social structures. Our resources, our environment, our social structures. By studying the falls of the past, we are not predicting our own doom. Instead, we are arming ourselves with the wisdom needed to navigate the challenges ahead. History offers us a powerful mirror. It reflects the choices that other societies made when they stood at a crossroads. Some chose paths that led to resilience and continuity. Others made choices that led them toward collapse. The lessons are clear. Ignoring fundamental needs and letting society fracture weakens the whole. Following leaders who make consistently poor decisions invites disaster. The first sign of collapse is resource strain. This happens when a society uses its essential resources faster than the environment can replace them. Think of it like a bank account. If you consistently withdraw more than you deposit, your account will eventually run dry. A civilization has a certain amount of natural capital: fresh water, fertile soil, forests for timber, fish in the sea. In the same way, overuse depletes environmental capital. When resources become scarce, the systems that depend on them begin to fail. Farms can no longer produce enough food. Cities struggle to find clean water. The entire economy can shrink. For a time, a society might feel prosperous, building, expanding, feeding a growing population. But beneath the surface, the foundation is being eroded. The forests get thinner each year. The soil loses fertility with every harvest. The water table drops inch by inch. People might not notice until a crisis hits. A sudden drought, a poor harvest. When the crisis comes, the society finds it has no buffer. Reserves are gone. This can lead to widespread hunger, social unrest, and conflict over the few resources that remain. A clear historical example: the fate of Easter Island. The island was once home to a complex society famous for the moai. Transporting these statues required timber for rollers and ropes. They cut down the island's vast palm forests. Over time, relentless deforestation had catastrophic consequences. Without trees to hold it, rich topsoil eroded and washed away. Farming grew difficult. The island could not support its population. No timber meant no canoes for deep-sea fishing. The outcome was grim. As resources dwindled, competition turned into violent conflict. Evidence shows warfare and even hints of cannibalism. Populations crashed dramatically. Europeans found a small, struggling population amid ruins. The moai stood as silent witnesses to a society that exhausted its resource base. resource strain was not the only factor, but a central driver, and a stark warning. The second sign is environmental change. This is different from resource strain, which is caused by human overuse. Environmental change refers to shifts in the natural world beyond a society's immediate control. Long-term climate changes, the onset of an ice age, severe prolonged drought, sudden events, volcanic eruptions blocking the sun, new diseases sweeping through crops. When the environment changes unexpectedly, established ways of life can be thrown into chaos. Practices that worked for generations may suddenly become ineffective. A society's ability to adapt is crucial. Some can move, develop new technologies, change social structures. Others are rigid, too invested in old ways or unable to organize. For them, change can be fatal. The collapse of the classic Maya in the southern lowlands, towering pyramids, elaborate palaces, a sophisticated writing system, an accurate calendar. Intensive agriculture supported large urban populations. Around the 9th century, many great cities were abandoned. Sediments and rings show severe, multi-decade droughts. Reliant summer rains became unpredictable and failed. Deforestation compounded drought. Yields plummeted, rulers lost legitimacy, warfare rose, and jungles reclaimed the cities. The third sign, a dangerous level of social and economic inequality. Wealth and power concentrated in the hands of a small elite, the majority left with very little. In a healthy society, there is a shared fate. People believe rules are fair and upward paths exist. Extreme inequality breaks the social contract, breeding resentment, distrust, and a loss of cohesion. Society splits into haves and have-nots. The widening gap destabilizes. Elites, insulated by wealth, resist reform and focus on luxury and power struggles, ignoring looming threats. Meanwhile, the poor face heavy taxes, debt, and lack of opportunity, eroding loyalty to the state. In crisis, a divided society is brittle. Unity falters. The late Roman Empire is a clear example. Inequality deepened into the 5th century. A tiny super-rich class controlled vast estates worked by tenants or slaves, living in luxury and avoiding taxes. The majority were squeezed to fund armies and bureaucracy. Many lost land, sliding towards serfdom. When frontiers were pressed, Rome struggled to recruit motivated soldiers. Why fight for an empire that offers only hardship? Internal social decay hollowed solidarity and eased the Western Empire's collapse. A fourth critical sign is bad leadership and a pattern of poor decision-making. Leaders hold immense power to steer a society. Good leaders inspire, plan long-term, navigate complexity, listen to advice, adapt, and prioritize the common good. Bad leaders accelerate decline, corrupt, incompetent, and focused on short-term gain. They ignore clear warnings, pursue ruinous wars, waste resources on vanity, and surround themselves with sycophants. A string of poor decisions weakens society until a shock breaks it. Debasing currency to pay for war can trigger inflation that wrecks the economy. Ignoring vital infrastructure leads to failure at critical moments. One common failure is landscape amnesia, the inability to see slow problems unfolding over a generation. 16th, 17th century Spain was flooded with New World gold and silver. Disastrous choices, continuous wars to maintain empire and enforce religious orthodoxy. They failed to invest in domestic agriculture and manufacturing, importing what they could have produced. Ruinous social decisions, expelling skilled Jewish and Muslim populations, crippled parts of the economy. When silver declined, massive debts and a weak economy remained. Short-term glory over long-term health squandered a historic opportunity and set Spain on a long decline. The fifth and perhaps most subtle sign of collapse is the loss of social cohesion and trust. A civilization is held together by invisible bonds, trust in neighbors, contracts, fair laws, and the value of money. Shared trust lets millions of strangers cooperate in large, complex societies. When trust erodes, the system grinds to a halt. Pervasive corruption, growing inequality, and breakdown of shared norms destroy trust. People become less willing to sacrifice for the common good, focusing on self-protection. Fragmentation can lead to conflict and violence. The Soviet Union's collapse in 1991. Ideology, central control, and coercion lost power amid stagnation, shortages, and official lies. Cynicism spread. Informal connections and bribes trumped rules. Openness revealed past crimes and present failures, shattering trust. Without shared belief or fear, the multi-ethnic empire could not hold. Even the military was divided. The Soviet Union did not fall to invasion. It dissolved from within as bonds of trust disintegrated. These 5 signs, resource strain, environmental change, inequality, bad leadership, and loss of trust, rarely act in isolation. The true danger arises when they interact and reinforce one another, creating a downward spiral, a cascade of failure. One problem can be managed. Multiple crises at once can overwhelm a system. Seeing how the factors link together is essential to the full picture. Imagine a society already strained. Then a long drought hits. Agriculture fails. Food shortages follow. Inequality grows. Elites hoard. The poor starve. Unrest erupts. Trust collapses. Leaders fail to solve it. A costly distraction, like war, drains the state's resources. The situation worsens. Rome's fall was convergence. Inequality and heavy taxation, climate stress on crops, debased currency, endless civil wars, and external migratory pressure. No single factor explains it. The combination did. For the Maya, drought hit an overstrained system. Kings lost legitimacy. Cities fought. Each sign fed the others. A drought became catastrophe. Catastrophe undermined leaders. Leadership failure led to social breakdown. The domino effect turns problems into societal collapse. History is not a prophecy that condemns us to repeat the past. It is a collection of case studies. Understanding the 5 signs is identifying warning lights on our civilization's dashboard. Today we see symptoms of all 5: resource strain, climate change, extreme inequality, poor leadership, and declining institutional trust. Unlike many past societies, we have scientific understanding and historical knowledge. The core lesson: proactive collective action is key. Societies do not have to fail. Many survived similar pressures by adapting agriculture, reforming politics, and investing in new technologies. Collapse is not destiny. It follows bad choices. We can start with 3 simple, powerful actions. First, use resources wisely. Transition to renewables, protect soils and freshwater, build a circular economy, conserve energy and water, and set smart policy. Second, build fairer systems. Tackle extreme inequality, invest in education and healthcare, and ensure broad opportunity. Strong societies rest on a prosperous middle class. Third, strengthen social trust. Demand transparency. Support a free press and anti-corruption institutions, and rebuild trust through open, respectful dialogue based on evidence. Using resources wisely, building fair systems, and strengthening trust directly counter the signs of collapse and lay the blocks of resilience. We have journeyed through the shadows of history, examining patterns that brought down great civilizations. 5 clear warning signs. The strain on resources, the shock of environmental change, the corrosion of inequality, the failure of leadership, the dissolution of social trust. These factors converge and amplify, creating a cascade of failure. From deforested Easter Island, to abandoned Maya cities, to divided late Rome, to the crumbling Soviet Union, these are not distant tales, but urgent warnings. The stakes have never been higher. To see these signs is not to surrender to despair. It is the first step toward empowerment. Knowledge of the disease is the beginning of the cure. We have tools and hindsight. We understand soil erosion, climate change, and social friction, and can monitor our planet with precision. The future is not fixed. Collapse results from a series of choices. We can choose differently. Manage resources for the long term, build equitable societies, choose wise leaders, rebuild bonds of trust through honesty, fairness, and facts. Every fallen empire is a lesson written in stone and dust, but resilience is possible. Our fate is not sealed. We can ignore the warnings, or heed history, face challenges with courage and ingenuity, and build a sustainable, just, and prosperous future for all. The choice is ours to make.